My video for May the 26th, 2020 is video number 3466. Title is No More Masks for Me, not even in my apartment. I was totally dumbfounded. One of my friends in the complex where I live had been in the hospital. I did not know whether he had become one of the COVID-19 victims or not, so I was glad to see him. I shook his hand as I greeted him joyfully. Another friend was standing nearby. I went to greet him as well, holding out my hand, which he refused. I've got a wrong thing again. Anyway, he held his elbow out. We touched elbows. As I proceeded on with my afternoon walk, I got to thinking about the insanity. I decided I would no longer wear a mask, even entering and exiting the apartment complex where I live. I've already gotten some flack for this, which probably is not over yet, seeing that this is a holiday weekend. Oh, yes, that happened on Saturday evening. And of course, I thought I've got to make a video on this, but I had already scheduled one with my friend Lulu, which of course was just uploaded and made live on Facebook and YouTube just a little while before I'm recording this one. So this was already my idea for the next video. In any case, folks, I have been paying attention. You can't help but pay attention, in fact, because every one of my videos comes with a COVID-19 official story, which is to me an official lie. It's attached to every video. This is what the deep state wants everybody to pay attention to. They're trying to drum up fear, 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 not just a little bit, but a lot. And the masks are part of that fear, as I've said again and again, and as I've listened to doctors and medical professionals and scientists, the masks do nothing to protect us from a virus which can go right through the masks, even surgical masks. Viruses are so small that, you know, yes, they can stop dust and things like that, but they can't stop microscopic subatomic particles. Oh, anyway, I chuckle again, but again, it's not funny. The insanity is everywhere we look. Now, I've only worn my mask, and I should have brought it out, but I don't have it here with me as I'm recording this. It's just a bandana, and I wear it as a farce. It's like one of the robbers, as I've said, in the old Western movies, wearing a handkerchief, basically, a big handkerchief over their face, you know, so that all it shows is their eyes. It's not much of a camouflage, but that's the old Western movies that many of us grew up with, if you're as old as I am. Folks, the virus is a manipulative ploy. It probably has some political objectives, but for sure, the objective is part of the population reduction of Bill Gates and the elite establishment, Dr. Fauci and others that have been pushing this thing on all of us, not just in the United States, as I keep on saying, but around the world. But when even, these are friends, by the way, the two that I mentioned, are friends that were part of the music group that, until this craziness started, we used to meet every Monday evening. It was part of a routine, and there was always, I don't know, 15, 20, sometimes maybe a little over 20 people that would out of all of the apartment complex here, that's all that would meet on the Monday evenings. But of course, that hasn't been happening at all. I thankfully was able to go back to my spiritual group that meets on Sunday mornings yesterday for the first time. And there were only about 10 or maybe 11 people there. I'm not sure the exact number. I didn't do a head count. 2 people came in actually when it was all, 3/4 of the way over. It only is about a 1-hour meeting, and I had hoped to see one of my friends there, which I didn't see him, but I went an hour earlier than usual, hoping to be able to talk with him more, but he was packing. He's from India, and he's being sent by the government of India. He's being returned to India, and he has to go into quarantine when he gets back for a month. And he doesn't know what he's going to be able to do as far as being on the internet, or he has no idea. I did get his email address, which I've never communicated with him via email. I've seen him in person and had his phone number, and those were the only means of communication. In any case, I'm going to connect with him at some point, hopefully. But this pandemic thing, folks, please, of course, you're watching or listening to this online, so you have access to the internet. Pay attention to what's being said by the people that are in the know about this thing. I mean, I just got, before I making this video, while the other one was uploading, I got a thing from a friend in Italy, and they have treatments now that they're using, including aspirin, which I don't even take aspirin, but including aspirin as remedies. But the worst things is when you go on those machines that they're pushing, they actually kill you, which is one of the reasons why I was so happy to see my friend, because obviously he wasn't put on one of those machines, or he would not have been there. He would be gone. And it's ironic because this is a friend who for years has worn a Superman shirt often. And I always chuckle, and in fact, I often referred to him as just Superman, even when he didn't have the shirt on, because he wore it so frequently. And he might have had more than one shirt that said Superman. And I was Superman when I was a kid, as far as Halloween goes, but that's just to the extent that it was. This skinny little kid from New Jersey coming as Superman, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Please, I ask all of my friends to share things that contradict and shed light on this whole pandemic insanity that's going on. I hope and pray that somehow God starts helping humanity extricate ourselves from the demon possession that seems to be in control of our corporate leaders. And again, corporate leaders means they are not standing up for humanity. They're not even human in their corporate capacity. Corporation is a dead entity. It's a legal entity. It's not a lawful human being. Even though they have human-like features, they are not human when in their corporate capacity. And that includes Gates and Fauci and many others that we don't even know the names. This has been going on for a long time. I hope and pray it stops soon. Thank you for listening, and namaste.